Hi guys, Coach Joe Micela, Performance One Advanced Sports Training, 2012 Olympic team coach. We've been asked a lot about, hey coach, I already know how to jerk, I've gone through all the basics, I've been doing it for a while now. Somewhere along the road, I kind of developed like a timing issue with my jerk, okay? Whether it's my footwork is off, or I'm not staying with the top end of my drive, or I'm just not getting, under the bar fast enough, or something is a disconnect and the bar's crashing on me at the top of the movement. And I'm missing a lot of jerks that I know that I'm strong enough to make, or I've made them in the past, and for some reason I've just developed a kind of a glitch, okay? It's no different than in golf or in baseball where a hitter or a golf athlete, all of a sudden they know how to swing, they've been doing it for a long time, and all of a sudden something goes awry. So then they need to go back to some technical drills to help them improve on that aspect of their swing. Just like with us, with the jerk, we need to sometimes do some other technical drills that are gonna work on certain aspects of the movement. So again, depending on your issue, say, once I get going, I don't stay with the bar and I just don't get under the bar and I get my foot out far enough into the jerk and I always get cut short. Two drills that we like to do for that is one is called a tall jerk. So Nate here is going to pick up the bar and we're going to start this bar in the top end of his extension phase. So he's going to be on his toes, placing the bar to the top of his forehead, and from that position he's going to pause momentarily, and from there he's going to push himself and wedge himself downward into a split position. And he's going to stay there for a count. So I'm going to say toes, forehead, down. He's going to recover then, up and up, okay? So he's knowing he's going into his head from that top position. You can bring it down. From that top position, wedge, push down into a tense position of a locked out position of his arms and then down with his feet. Notice what he's not doing. He's not leaping and galloping in the air, okay? So he's staying in a nice rigid position of wedging himself into the bar. Again, I say toes, forehead, down. And he wedges himself down and then he recovers out. So he knows whether he's lopsided, he's moving left to right when he's coming out, if he doesn't get his foot out. This is also a really good drill to do with feedback from your coach. Is he shortchanging his step, meaning he's prematurely putting his foot out there, or he's getting it far enough out that it's perpendicular to the ground? The coach will come in and give him that feedback. So again, we'll do it one more time. Toes, forehead, drop. Good, and recover. Put it down for just a second. So what we want to make sure he's not doing is pushing himself away from the bar, or he's falling forward into a lunge position. So we want to make sure he's wedging and he's equally distributing his lead leg and his trail leg at the exact same time. So it's a great drill. Doesn't need a lot of weight. We have technical drills, and then we have drills that help with strength development. This is a technical drill, doesn't need a lot of weight. At most, I'd probably have him do maybe at most 40 kilos, maybe 50. Now he's jerked over 190 kilos, but he doesn't need to do this with 100 kilos. One, is very strenuous on his upper body, but it's a timing drill. So we'd use this drill as a warm-up either for the clean and jerk that day, or if he's going on and doing other jerks that day. And it's just practicing wedge. So he's pressing himself into that more secured position with his arms and up and over his head. Another drill that we use that mimics this movement tremendously is now what we call a tall jerk recovery. So we have a bar set up behind now. Not everyone can do these drills. You have to have a rack that is high enough. Some people have power cages, some people have racks. We want to be able to set the bar at a position that is similar to that tall position, okay? And that's your crown of your head, okay? The crown of your head. So when Nate is on his toes, the bar is in that crown of his head region. So the way I teach this particular drill, some coaches teach it with a flat foot. No, I teach it with them on their toes, or they're finishing that extension up. We want to make sure that the bar stays on the rack when they descend under the bar. That is going to make sure that they're understanding wedge under the bar. We're going to push downward into a tense position. We're not going to just drop, then create tension, and then recover out. I love this drill because it gives the athlete instant feedback whether they did it right or wrong. And we can use a lot more weight than we just did in the previous drill of the tall jerk. So the footwork is the same. Nate's going to go toes, drop. He's going to push up and recover, boom, boom, and down. In this rack, I don't know if you can see it on the film, but it's been wet. There's been basically a groove that's been worn down that's about 5 to 6 inches on either side of the rack. That I want the athlete to think of like there's strings attached. You may even do it if you want to, if you had a full power cage, that are going straight to the ceiling. So that if Nate did this exercise, he would recover within that 5 to 6 inch window. That the bar is not going to displace greater than that. So as a coach, you're standing from the side and you're saying, hey, I'm going to be right here. I want to look for that window. So he's going to do it again. He's going to get under the bar. He's getting right under his spine is under the bar. He's not leaning out over it or it's excessively behind him. So when I go toes, ears, drop. Recover up, down. I don't do this drill in the forehead. Why? Because it's already in a fixed position and where their feet are, okay, I don't want them to think forward. I wanted to right now, with this drill, I do it behind the ear. I just want them to think down. That vertical descent straight down. Some people do from the forehead. I don't. Not this particular drill because of the factor of the movement. Toes, ears, down. He pushes straight up and vertical, okay? Now do a jacked up one so you can just kind of see. So if he does it where he does it, he creates tension after the fact. So he doesn't push himself in a wedge position. Do it, down. He drops, and then he's trying to pick the bar up. He's going to wobble, okay? He's going to be off balance. The athlete's going to know real quick. Or if he tries to prematurely lift the bar as he's pushing downward, it's going to create like this rebound effect on the rack. I don't know if you could do it bad, basically. So you're basically going to push up on it instead of pushing your body under the bar. Okay. Not a hard time. Try it one more time. Up first instead of pushing your body down. See how he did that? Now, he doesn't know how to really do it because he doesn't really do it that much. Bad in terms of that's what athletes will do. But that will give them that instant feedback like it's off, okay? They're trying to push up and they're trying to lift the bar off the rack versus them pushing their body downward under the bar. So usually we like doing this when we get some big, strong football guy that is used to just push pressing the weight over their head all the time. It's like, man, I can push press 180 kilos. But you can't jerk 140. So this is teaching them that to get under the bar. It's going to give them that instant feedback like I'm off balance. Or again, if their footwork is off and they're prematurely not putting their foot out, they're not going to have balance enough to stand up with the bar. But they have to get that foot out to slide it up. So we use this drill. In this particular drill, unlike the tall jerk drill, we will go up in weight. We'll go to at least what they can jerk, sometimes up to 110 to 120%. Why? Then once they do know how to jerk and they want to get that feedback, we want them to work on a little overload of strength. So if I have an athlete that can jerk 140, clean and jerk 140, and then we do this drill, and then they can systematically do this drill with 150 to 160 to even 165 kilos, that they're going to feel very secure and that they have the strength to support and hold that weight over their head. Whereas just jerking alone, they may not be able to get to that number. Or even they're doing it as a jerk drive. Yeah, but it's not the same thing as holding it over your head. So we'll do it as a strength developer and a confidence along with a technical reinforcer. So that's why I like this drill a lot. Now, you still got to be careful with that. I wouldn't always go up in super heavy weight. I usually do the tall jerk drill as a prepper. Then they come into this, and then they go into regular jerks right after that, if that was the sequence for the day. Why? We want skill transfer. I want the first drill that's purely skill transfer, the tall jerk, into a skill and strength builder into the jerk recovery, and then immediately transfer that into the jerk, okay? So that I want them to go, all right, you took this footwork, you took this timing drill, you took the strength overload with it, put it all together, okay, with the regular jerk. So if we worked up to 160 on this, now we're jerking 130, 140, and it should feel like, man, this is really light. I can maneuver and control that weight very easily. And again, work on that timing of that footwork. I got instant feedback here. I got the coaching feedback here. I'm getting the coaching feedback and the instant feedback with a good jerk and the repetitions of doing it either off a block or off the rack or whatever you like to do. Again, hope these drills help you guys in understanding that. What are the sets and reps in this? I don't do this for sets of 10. I do this maximum as a set of 5, but usually I keep it around 2 to 3 repetitions. I don't want to get nuts, but that's the same thing with my jerk. I don't really go up above 5 reps. Usually percentage is not above, usually under 75%. Anything that's over that, I keep it at 3s and 2s and singles. I'd rather them get the quality movement in here, okay, than get nuts. Same thing with that tall jerk we did earlier. We don't do more than like probably reps of 5. Again, it's a prepper. 3, 4 sets, kind of do it. This. You may work up to a little bit more. You may do it 4 or 5 sets of this particular exercise, okay? Mainly because we're not taking huge jumps. We're not taking 30 and 40 kilo jumps with this particular exercise. They'll start at a nice weight and then they'll move up because we want to loosen up. We don't want to get any tweaks in the neck, any tweaks in the traps, anything like that. So we want to make sure this exercise is pretty good. So again, on this end, we're probably at most doing maybe 5 to 6 sets, 3 to 5, mainly on the 3 rep average range. The tall jerk, 3 to 4 sets, mainly going to be about the 5 rep range on that particular exercise. Guys, we have a lot of people that are watching our channel. Please like us and also subscribe to the channel so that we can get more information and content out there to you guys. Take care. Have a great day.